G'day, this is Jim from Living Life Now. Today I'm coming to you from Mauritius, Port Louis. I'm going to take you through what a day in port looks like. But first we'll start with some interesting facts. Mauritius is a tropical island country in the Indian Ocean, off the east coast of Africa near Madagascar. It has a population of approximately 1.3 million people and is approximately about 2,000 square metres in size. It has a multicultural society with a mix of Indian, African, European and Chinese heritage. And this comes out in its food and colonial heritage architecture and the languages, with the main language I believe was English, and French and Mauritian Creole was also spoken widely. Mauritius was first inhabited by the Dutch in 1598 and later colonised by the French, then the British, but it gained its independence in 1968, and today it's now a republic nation. The biggest challenge of cruising to Mauritius is that you only have one day in port, and there's way too many options here for just one day. So after weighing up all the options, Linda and I decided to tour the south part of the island. The Crown Princess arrived in port on sunrise, and the first thing we noticed that it was a fairly industrial port on the left-hand side of the ship as you sailed in. But as the ship approached to the end of the harbour and rotated 180 degrees, it unveiled the christened Cotta Cruise Terminal. Port Louis Cruise Terminal was opened in December 2023, so it's fairly brand new and it's quite an impressive facility in size and scale, and definitely built with the future in mind. The entry into the country of Mauritius was pretty straightforward. Princess collected our passports 2 days beforehand, and the ship was cleared by customs within an hour of arrival. As we left the cruise terminal, we were greeted by the local Sega dancers. The dancers had flowing skirts, moving to the beat of the African and Indian infused music. With our friend Miranda, we moved outside and found our guide and driver for the day, Nichelle, who took us through what we were going to see for the day.
We drive directly to the Hindu temple, Grand Basin.
Yep.
And then from there we drive to the Colle d'Œuf. The Colle d'Œuf, you have two places. You have a park here named Vallée des Couleurs, and then you get the Seven Colored and the waterfall. Both are the same. It depends which one you would like to do.
We were very happy with our guide for the day, Nichelle, and the comfort of transport provided, as well as the roads. The roads, they had 4 motorways within Mauritius, which made movement through the island by car very easy. Our first stop was the Grand Basin. The Grand Basin is one of the most sacred Hindu sites outside of India. It took us a little bit under an hour to get to the Savan district. It's about 550 metres above sea level. The Gangatalo is one of the primary pilgrimage sites for the Hindu community in Mauritius. The main temple is a striking sight with Lord Shiva standing 33 metres tall. But the nearby statue of Goddess Durga is not outdone, also standing 33 metres tall. The major festival, Maha Shivaratri, occurs every February or March, and hundreds and thousands of devotees walk barefoot from all over Mauritius to Ganga to make offerings to Lord Shiva. I was fortunate enough to receive a blessing, and it seemed to have worked. Next we had a picturesque drive to Black River Gorges Biosphere Reserve, where we had a view out to the ocean and some views of the waterfalls. Our next stop was the Makibi viewpoint in Black River Gorges. The panoramic view overlooks deep forested valleys and Black River Gorge. And on this particular day, it was clear enough to see all the way out to the west coast from its 680 metre above sea level viewpoint. If panoramic views were not enough, we had monkeys, waterfalls and lotus flowers to take in as well. Next stop was one of the 4 volcano craters. Not the famous Mers volcano, the big one on the island, but we got the idea. Our final stop was to Vale Adventure Park. Now, it's a very well run park. You kind of dropped out the front and ushered inside to be given your options, which is basically you can go quad bike riding, zip lining, animal exploring, and coloured sand exploring. Your minimal investment is 1,000 rupees to enter the park, and then each adventure after that has its own price. While Miranda and Linda went off to explore the animals and the coloured sands, I thought I'd have a crack at zip lining. There's a few options to choose from, one going about 1 kilometre through the valley, but I decided to do the smaller one that just went over the waterfall.
How are you? Yeah, good. I faced the wrong way.
So after a lesson at the other end, where I learnt how to face the right way, the trip back was more enjoyable when I got to see the waterfall. And then turn around and got to see the landing. For the adrenaline junkie, this is the place to be. Definitely more fun than legal drugs. I would have loved to spend more time there. We only had just over an hour, and given that we've only got the day and there's so much to fit in, we had to keep moving. The trip back to port was pretty quick, through some agricultural land, and back on the M4, and back to port. We got back to the port at 2 o'clock, and said goodbye to our excellent guide, Nichelle, and as we had a couple of hours still, we decided to take the free shuttle into town. The free shuttle drops you off at the waterfront area. It's approximately a 5-minute drive. The vibrant waterfront area, called Lorden Waterfront, first opened in 1996, home to 170 local and international retailers and Umbrella Lane. Now, at the time of visiting, the umbrellas were white, but often they are coloured and more representative of the multicultural society that is Mauritius. The area is the showcase of Mauritian food, art and culture. Also hosting the Appraisy Gant nearby, that is the UNESCO site capturing its interesting history. In the craft market, we picked up our first souvenir of the trip, which was a dodo bird, handcrafted and soldered in copper. We found a local cafe down the end of an alleyway in a nice little courtyard to sample some of the local delicacies. Number 2. We then headed to the more authentic part of Port Louis, and that was the local markets on Farquhar Street. The market culture reflects its rich history of African, Indian, Chinese and European heritage. There's a lots going on here and a bit of everything, all into a melting pot of vibrant fun. We enjoyed our short walk through the more authentic areas of town, and we felt safe at all times. The people seem to be fairly laid back and they're not pushy, so it was very pleasurable. So we made our way back to the waterfront to hop on the shuttle, back to the ship and sail out. Anyway, that's a wrap. We're on our way to Cape Town now. If you found this interesting, give it a thumbs up and we'll catch you next time. Hooroo!